Hi guys, it's Leah again down at Horsham Golf and Fitness with the My Golf Academy. Thought I'd share another video with you this week, especially because the PGA Championship, which has been moved to May this year, is just around the corner. I thought I'd come out on the par 3 course today and share with you how to maybe approach a tricky downhill lie. So if you're not sure how to play it, continue watching and hopefully we'll make it a bit clearer for you. So doing a downhill lie chip shot, but even though this is just a chip shot, these rules can be applied to long shots as well. And the first place to start is really understanding what the slope and what effect it has on the actual shot itself. Because sometimes it's not you, it's just you haven't quite matched up the club or you've matched your technique or setup position to the scenario that you're in. So like I said, we're on a downhill lie today. So first of all, we need to understand what a downhill lie does to the loft of the club. Okay, now generally speaking, when playing off a downhill lie, it de-lofts the club slightly. So if you're used to using a sand wedge from this style shot, just put my face alignment tool on here, okay, you can see it's quite a lofted club. Now as soon as I get onto a downhill lie, what that actually does is de-loft the club for you, okay? So it's turned that sand wedge more into like a 7 or 8 iron, which maybe you would use for a standard chip and run, okay? Can you see that there? A little bit closer. Okay, so it's kind of made it more a similar loft there. So what we need to understand now is this sand wedge is no longer behaving like a normal sand wedge, which goes up high in the air. When it hits the green, it stops quite quickly. This has now got the same properties as an 8-iron, which is designed to go lower in flight, and when it hits the ground, it's going to run more. So that means you're going to have to do some slightly different things in our setup and to our swing to compensate, okay? So that's step one, understanding how the loft changes on a downhill lie, aka it de-lofts it for you. Step two, we've understood about the loft. Now we're going to have a look at how the strike can be compromised if we don't make any changes to our setup. So generally with a chip shot, we have our feet closer together, sort of middle, maybe touch back of the stance, a little bit here, weight slightly forward, okay? Now if I don't make any changes, in particular to the ball position, the likely shots to happen is that we actually hit the ground a little bit too early, okay? Of course that's going to impact the strike, so we're not really sure what direction the ball's going to travel in, but most importantly it's going to affect the distance the ball travels. If we tend to hit the ground first, it means the ball doesn't tend to travel as far, okay? Which makes it very tricky to kind of gauge how hard or soft to hit something. Now there is a way we're going to get around that. What we're actually going to do is move the ball back in the stance nearer the higher foot, okay? We may want to widen our stance to help balance on the slope, and we're going to actually just let gravity pull us forward, downward with the slope. If we take these steps, we're more likely to hit the ball first, which then will get us a cleaner contact, which is going to make it easier for you to control the distance, okay? So that is step two. Okay, finally step three, we're going to put step 1 and 2 together, okay? So let's go back to step 1. Remember we talked about how the club is de-lofted, so it's going to behave more like an 8-iron, so it's going to run out a little bit more. What that means is we're going to have a slightly smaller swing than what we would normally have with a sand wedge to compensate, because we're going to bank on the fact it's going to roll out when it hits the green, okay? So making those adequate changes to our setup, ball further back, wider stance for stability, I'm just going to let the slope take me, adapting the swing, and letting it run out. So if you take those steps, you're going to get a better strike off the slope, help you choose your club better, which hopefully will give you a much better result when hitting off a downhill lie. Okay, so I'm going to play the shot one more time for you, but as you can see I've moved the camera around so you can see it from this angle. So just to go over, just final one more time, we're aware that the loft of the club is more like an 8-iron, so it's going to come out a little bit lower and run a little bit faster when it hits the ground. So I'm going to maybe go for a slightly smaller and softer swing to compensate for that. To help me get the strike right, I'm going to move the ball a little bit further back, let gravity take me down the slope, and then we'll put it all together. Now, you've got to understand this style shot is quite tricky as well. So for something like this, if we can get it really close to the hole, bonus, but really what we're looking for is getting out of trouble and getting it down onto that putting surface. Okay, so I will take that. That's a good shot of mine. It had a really good result, but I did everything I could to help me get that result. Now, hopefully you found the video useful. If you would like to come in, see the centre or book in for a lesson, just contact the details that are attached to the video. I hope you enjoy the PGA Championship, and I'll be back next next week with another video to help you with some tips and hopefully get your golf game a bit more improved for you. See you later.